Hi, I'm AJ. I'm 15 years old, and I live in Pekin, Illinois. And I started something called the I Hate Cancer Club. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but first, I want to talk about St. Jude. Now, you may have heard of St. Jude before, and you might know that it's a hospital. What it is just a really special hospital where really, really sick kids go and can get the special care and treatment they need. Now, I'm sure everyone watching this has been sick before. Maybe you were sick for a couple days, or maybe you had the flu and you were sick for a whole week. But the kids that go to St. Jude, they aren't sick for a week. They aren't even sick for a month. They're sick for years. Can you imagine being sick for a whole year? It's not fun being sick. Your throat hurts, maybe your nose is running, maybe you have a headache. Being sick isn't fun. And the kids that go to St. Jude are sick for very, very long periods of time. So St. Jude is a special hospital where they can get the special care and treatment they need from the doctors there. So St. Jude's a pretty cool place. It's also a research hospital. And what that means is that they're constantly finding new ways and new medicines and new equipment and new treatments for the kids that go to St. Jude, because they hope to one day get rid of the diseases that the kids have. One more really cool thing about St. Jude is that it's what's known as a sharing hospital. Now, what that means is that all of that new information that they come up with, all of the new medicines and treatments and equipment, they share that with other hospitals. So other hospitals can use that information to help their patients too. So St. Jude doesn't just help the kids that go to St. Jude, it also helps thousands of other kids and adults that go to hospitals elsewhere. So it's an awesome place. The last really, really cool thing about St. Jude is that it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese. The Chuck E. Cheese of hospitals. There's rooms filled with iPads and Xboxes and Barbies and Legos and any type of game, anything that you could imagine having to play with. Because if you were sick for years, wouldn't you want to have some fun stuff to do? I know I would. So St. Jude is an amazing place. But there's one tiny drawback to St. Jude. Because to pay for all that medicine, and to pay the doctors, and to pay for all the fun stuff for the kids to do, right now it costs over $2 million per day to run St. Jude. And they don't just run for one day, they run for the whole year. It costs a lot of money to run St. Jude. And if you go to St. Jude, if you have one of the diseases that they treat, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay $2 million to get the special treatment, because most of the people that go to St. Jude, they don't have $2 million. I know I don't. So St. Jude treats anyone because they believe that everyone has a chance to fight these diseases. So just another reason they're a really awesome place. But that means that they need our help, because they rely on donations from people like you, people like me, people like your parents, people like your teachers, everyone working together and donating money to St. Jude so they can help the kids. Now, you might think that you are too little or too young, or you don't have enough money to make a difference or to help St. Jude. And if you think that, I'm just going to tell you, you're wrong. If you work together with your friends and just give a little bit, amazing things can happen. You don't have to give $50 or $100 or $10. If you just give 25 cents or a dollar and everybody works together, you guys can do amazing things. Now, an example of this that I like to use is the snow. Because one little snowflake is like that big, not even. And if it could talk, it would think, I'm just going to land on the ground and melt. I can't do anything. I'm just a little snowflake. But when hundreds and hundreds of snowflakes get together and work together, that might make a snowball that you can throw at somebody. And thousands of snowflakes might cover a sledding hill, and you can go sledding. And millions and millions and millions of snowflakes, snow day. Everybody loves snow days. But it all started with that one snowflake who thought he couldn't do anything. You guys are snowflakes. You guys might think that you're not big enough or you don't have enough to make a difference, but when you all work together, when we all work together, we can do amazing things. And I'm not saying that you can't give $10 or $20. If you have that and you want to give that to St. Jude, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just as cool to bring in what you can, be it 25 cents or $10, and work together as long as you're giving it with a kind heart and a giving spirit, really wanting to help St. Jude. That's what matters. So one thing you could do when you work together and give a little is raise money. If you work together and give a little money, you can raise a huge amount of money. You get a huge outcome. But that's not the only thing you can do when you work together. You can apply that principle to nearly everything you do. One that I want to focus on right now is small acts of kindness. Now, a small act of kindness is something that you do that's nice for someone else, and it could really be anything that's nice for someone that you might not think matters that much, but it really does. A small act of kindness could be opening a door for somebody, or picking up a pencil if they dropped it, or giving someone a hug if you can tell they're feeling sad, or telling someone they have cool shoes. Anything like that that makes other people feel happy is a small act of kindness. Now, an example of this that I like to use is my little friend Carson. Now, Carson is about 7 years old, and he has a brain tumor, which is kind of a form of cancer. So he goes to St. Jude, and he gets the special treatment there, and he knows firsthand just how awesome St. Jude really is. And it would kind of make sense if he was kind of sad all the time and felt bad for himself, because he's sick for a very, very long period of time. So it would make sense if he wasn't always in the best mood. But that's not Carson. Every time I see Carson, he has a new joke to tell me, which doesn't make sense. He should be sad and feel bad for himself all the time because of how sick he is, but that's the exact opposite. He is so happy that he wants to make other people happy. That's what I want you guys to be like. I want you guys to use Carson as an example and be like him. And when you start doing small acts of kindness each day, and everyone's doing it and working together and giving a little, you'll start to transform your school or your home or whatever your setting may be into a state of complete and total kindness. That's my challenge to you. To do small acts of kindness each day, working together, and pretty soon you will notice a big change in the way people around you act. And it'll flow over into your home, and then into your parents' workplace, and into your teachers' homes, and it'll transform your whole area, starting with you guys. That's my challenge to you. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is the word hate. Hate is a very, very powerful word. If you hate something, that means you wish it didn't even exist. Now, you might say that you hate broccoli, or that you hate math, but think about this for a second. And you might like these things, but I'm just going to use broccoli and math as an example because a lot of people have said in the past that they hate them. Think of something that you might say that you hate. Now, if you hate it, that means you wish it didn't exist. If broccoli didn't exist, well, let's think about that. We need broccoli. We need vegetables to be healthy and strong. We need vegetables to be healthy. And math, without math, the world would be chaos. We need math in nearly everything we do. Without math, we couldn't count or measure or do pretty much anything. We need math in almost everything we do. So do you really hate it? You wish it didn't exist? No, you might not like these things that much, but we need them. Now, it is okay to say that you hate cancer. Cancer is one thing that it's okay to hate. Alright? I hate cancer. I hate it. I wish it didn't exist. I hate what it does to people. I hate that it claims the lives of moms and dads and sisters and brothers and friends and babies. I hate cancer. That is totally okay to say that you hate cancer. But just keep in mind that hate is a very powerful word, and our words can affect other people in ways that we can't even imagine. Only use the word hate when you really, truly mean it. Like when you're talking about cancer. Lastly, I just want to thank you all so much for listening to my spiel. I trust that you are all great listeners. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope that you guys realize that you can make a huge difference, even if you don't have a lot. All it takes is working together and giving a little. You can do amazing things. Thank you.